Hey y'all, welcome to episode 11 of the Stay at Home Son podcast. And today's a perfect day to watch the Stay at Home Son podcast because half the country right now is getting severe winter weather. So it's a good day to sit down and cuddle up or just chill on the couch and listen to us rant about a film. I think today's a perfect day. And we got a great film to talk about today. We are going to be talking about Dun 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 It on Tubi. So this was a very interesting comedy, kind of crime, kind of slightly horror film. And it has a lot of interesting things about it. I'm excited to talk to Thomas today about it. So, Thomas, you want to give us your first little insight on the movie?
Well, I think my favorite part of the movie is that it basically makes fun of itself. So like it's set up as like an old school like I guess like Hitchcock-esque like murder mystery kind of like film, but then like things turn for the worse when it doesn't go according to script. So like the director is literally actually a character in the movie, and they all like get their roles of who's going to be the victim, who's going to be like, stand by, who's going to die or whatever. So then somebody else dies that's not supposed to die, and then they're like, "Oh wait, somebody's actually trying to kill us." So now they're all like frantically trying to figure out like who the killer is. And I think a couple things that stood out to me too was, first of all, I did not know that Asians get stereotyped as killers in movies. That was interesting. So I learned that.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know where they got that from. I've watched a lot of like horror movies, and I've never really seen the Asians as killers. I've seen the Asians as assassins, maybe. Like they think they're smart enough to get away with it, maybe. So I thought that was kind of an interesting take. One thing I thought was pretty cool about the movie is that they really had flamboyant, like interesting characters. Like it had a lot of characters, and I would say some of them were kind of hard to get developed. But I would say that they did make sure each character felt unique and each character felt like they had a personality of their own, which was very well done in kind of a lower budget film. And I think they did a really good job having those characters have like interesting personality traits. It almost felt like they were like Alice in Wonderland characters or something. It was very like whimsical. It was interesting.
I knew it felt familiar. I just couldn't put my tongue on it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Alice in Wonderland, something like.
Right. Right. Doesn't it feel like some whimsical element? Like you had the guy with the hat or whatever, and like even the girls are so like outrageously like raunchy or whatever. It was just interesting how the characters felt. They felt very there was no it was very theatrical, very it wasn't very naturalistic. And I thought it was good though. I think it served the film.
I think I also like I think my favorite part probably is when they literally changed the script towards the end of the movie because the director's dead. So like show must go on. We have to now we have to change the script, see what happens next.
Yeah, no, it's funny because it's like a movie within a movie. It's almost like you're watching a live action sitcom, but like they're also aware that they're in a sitcom. It's pretty funny. There's this movie on Netflix called The Glass Onion, and everyone loved it. It's one of those like murder mystery movies where there's a bunch of people at a house, and I've seen this plot before, but this film was funny in the sense that it's like almost making fun of that plot. Like, oh wait, we got to do this now. The director said it's like it breaks the third wall so much. So I think that's pretty interesting about it.
I think I also like how they kind of like answer like they answered like the one part. It's like, people would be like, I was like dying laughing when, because like, when you watch like a murder mystery, most people be like, well, why don't they just try to like call the cops or like run away or something like that? And it's like, oh, it's not in the we lost cell service because not in the budget have Wi-Fi anymore, or oh, we can't go outside because now it's covered by a green screen because we ran out of room in the budget for the chroma key or whatever. I thought those were like very funny. I was like dying.
No, it's genius because it's funny. It makes it makes it entertaining, but also it like explains the lack of of doing the obvious. Which this was just a really interesting, fun movie. I bet the director was a joy to work with on this because you can tell he's like so honest and about the whole process and everything. So I think it's funny how they kind of worked in like their shortcomings as a filmmaker into the script, and it made it work. It's like we can't do that. It's not in the budget. We can't do that. I think that's hilarious. I mean, I bet there's a lot of filmmakers who wish they could say that when they're making a film, but they can't. They don't have the balls to actually have that in there. But yeah, you got any other points, Thomas?
Um, no, not I think the only other part was that the name of the movie, they literally named it mid-movie, which I also thought was like very creative.
Yeah, I wonder how much of this was like scripted dialogue or how much of it was improvised. I feel like a lot of it was scripted, but it felt very the characters just had so much like dynamic. It was crazy. Like they felt like Alice in Wonderland characters. Like everyone was so flamboyant, had so much energy, so much persona on screen, and I think they did a really good job of that. It kind of didn't it kind of remind you of Halloween Feast just a little bit? That movie we reviewed a few weeks ago kind of did a little bit to me.
Yeah, I think so. I think the murder mystery aspect of it, and this one definitely, it kind of reminded me of Art Film a little bit too, because like they very much so leaned into the humor aspect of it.
Yeah, I don't think they took themselves too seriously while making it. And I know that sounds like a negative, but I think that actually is a positive in filmmaking because it makes the film feel funny and light and not so serious, you know? And I think it's a fun little enjoyable film. It's right at like an hour 32, so it's not super, super long. It's a great film. I would watch it again. I mean, it had me hooked from the start to finish.
I have to agree with you there. I would definitely watch it over again. I mean, usually I don't like films that are longer than an hour or so, but I enjoyed like every minute of this one because I didn't know what to expect. Because like I started noticing around like 20 minutes in, like this was not going to be like a, I guess you could call it like serious horror film because I'm like, oh, okay, so it's going to be like one of those films. But I enjoyed like every second.
I knew it wasn't going to be a serious film. I knew it was going to be like a funny, kind of more light humored film when like they go to the house and the butler comes out. I think how the butler was acting, I was like, okay, yeah, this movie is going to be a pretty funny. It wasn't taking itself too serious from the back, and it was just a nice, fun movie. And I wish the director Thomas, who made it, I wish him the best of luck with his endeavors going forward. I think this is a great film. I totally recommend watching it. I think both of the sons will agree on that. And I hope you all enjoyed today's episode of
I
reviewing Done, Done, and
actually
Done It.
there was one
Oh,
more point I did want to make. I
yeah, go
kind of like,
ahead.
and spoiler here, but like at the end, I liked how they like everybody ends up kind of like killing people, and they all have like their own separate motives instead of just being like one person.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty good too, because like a lot of these crime films where it's like a murder mystery, there's always one person. It's like, oh, who did it, you know? And this one, it's like they all had their reasons, and that's kind of how it is in life. Everyone has their reasons for doing stuff. So the movie's like funny. The movie's also realistic in a way. The movie's also got good characters. There's just a lot to like about this film, honestly.
Have to agree with you there. Definitely stay at home sons approved. You will be laughing.
We need to come up with like an award for something. Like if we really like a film, we should like have like a reward or something for to give it. You know what I mean? Like a little trophy or like a little certificate we could print out for people, like a stay-at-home son stamp of approval or something. Because if we did have that, this film would have gotten it for sure.
Maybe we can do like another episode like towards the end of the year or something. Be like we could give like each film like an award.
Yeah, like we have our own little like reward ceremony, like a little Oscar or whatever for the stay-at-home sons. That's a great idea. Thank you to this film. Thank you for this film, Done 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 It, because it actually got us to think about an idea. Yeah, at the end of the year, what we will do is we will have a podcast episode that's just dedicated to all the films we reviewed that year, and then we'll have best in show for like a best comedy, best crime, best acting. You know, I think that's a great idea, Thomas. I love that idea.
Is this the first? No, this is not the first one we reviewed in 2026. I'm like, wait a minute.
No, the first what was the first one we reviewed in 2026? Was it Cocaine Roach? That was a good movie.
Might have been. I'll have to go back through the episodes.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm gonna check real quick because now I'm thinking about it. I think that was Cocaine Roach, dude. Let me see. No, it was the that remember. Oh, remember the Mary, the dating app one? That one was really good.
Oh, okay. So that was our first.
Yeah, that was the
The
first one of 2026. I think Cocaine Roach was like right around Christmas time, so it was almost that first one. But I would definitely have Done It nominated for best comedy when it comes to time, and I guess you'll have to wait until January to see who wins.
must take get a tally. I was considering. I didn't really have time to, but I was gonna like basically tally like how many times they broke the fourth wall, and I don't know if I would have had time to do that.
Yeah, I'm telling you though, like it's funny how it works, but it takes a lot of balls to like break the fourth wall in a film like that, and it actually works too. So I think, I would tell filmmakers don't be so afraid to do something like that because this movie's a good example of you can be honest with your process and it can still work. I think people just like genuine honesty more than they like trying to pretend it's bigger than it is. You know what I mean? So this film definitely is honest with itself, doesn't take itself too serious, and the characters are so likable and like outrageous. You just can't help but enjoy it.
Wow, that was definitely one of the most interesting one that I've seen so far this year.
Yeah, it was so interesting. It inspired us to have our own reward show at the end of the year. So, if that doesn't say it was a good film, then I don't know what else will. But all in all, I hope y'all are staying safe in this weather. Go out there, go sledding. It's perfect movie weather. Done It is right on Tubi right now. You can sit there and click and watch it. You can also stream our film Payne's Branch on Fawsome TV and Stash TV YouTube, and soon to be Found TV. Just waiting on that probably around mid-February. And I hope you all enjoyed today's episode of Stay at Home Sons. And until the next one, stay at home.